It's September, and that means a new season. Recorded live at the MCM studios in beautiful Victoria, British Columbia. It is time for Are You Still a Genius? That's right, welcome to season number 2. This season shows new games, more contestants, and lots more fun. Some of the regular contestants are back. Let's put our hands together and welcome Peter, a very smart contestant with some great answers last year. Can he do it again? And here is Ben, full of fun and full of fun again, I'm sure. Andrew, a successful season last year. Can he do it again this year? And a new contestant last year, Bill, is back again for some more fun and excitement with some very witty answers. Welcome, Bill. Also, new contestants are here. Let's see who they are. Well, we've got one today, and he is a new fish in the MCM pond. His name is Paul. We welcome you, Paul, to the MCM team, and good luck today and all the remaining episodes in season number 2. That's right, Paul. Get it together. It's time to play. Are you still a genius? This episode of Are You Still a Genius is brought to you by Brainstreams.ca. That's Brainstreams.ca. And let's not forget our newest sponsor, Arby's Food. It's good mood food. Yes, good mood food at Arby's. Come to Arby's for delicious good mood food. And now, are you ready for season number 2? Yes, this season deals with... well, the whole season doesn't, but this episode deals with more fun games. It's time for round number 1. And this round is called Lighten the Load. Yes, you heard right. Lighten the Load. You see, a joke card is pulled and every contestant attempts to write a punchline. Any players with the correct original punchline gets 10 points. Then all the players vote on the other punchlines to choose the funniest. You cannot vote for yourself. The player with the most votes gets 20 points. Yes, 20 points for being the funniest guy in the entire bunch of characters. And here we are. Joke number 1 is as follows. What did the monster use to count to 17? What did the monster use to count to 17? Let's hear our player's joke number 1 attempt to the punchline. Peter, what is your punchline?
He used his claws.
And Andrew, what is your punchline to what did the monster use to count to 17?
Okay, it's not funny, but that's the only one I can come up with. The dead people.
And Ben, we now await your punchline. This should be hilarious.
Well, being a monster and all, he scared everybody away, so he just counted the people that he scared away.
Okay, Bill, make us laugh. What is your punchline?
He went to the graveyard and counted the people he left behind.
What is your punchline, Paul?
What he be doing with his hand? Counting with a finger exactly when he knows how many 17 was.
Okay, let's see who got voted for coming up with the funniest punchline. Paul was voted the funniest punchline, and he also had the original punchline, which was... the official punchline is his fingers. What did the monster use to count to 17? His fingers! Here's joke number 2. Paul got 20 points for that first joke. Can he do it again? We'll see. And the joke is, the patient says, "Doctor, doctor, I feel like a plant." And the doctor replies, let's listen to what our contestant thinks the doctor replies. Here is Ben. Ben, what is your punchline?
Well, the doctor replies, "Well, you look kind of green."
Doctor said, "Maybe you need a new pot."
Punchline time, Andrew.
Try some fertilizer.
The doctor says, "Get some fertilizer, some sun, and call me in the morning."
Doctor, I think she should be drinking more water. That's what I think she need.
Who got voted the funniest punchline? Well, let me see. I wonder who it was. And it was Peter. Peter got the funniest punchline for 10 points. The pot. The pot was voted the funniest punchline? Well, let's give it to Peter for 10 points for coming up with the funniest punchline voted by his colleagues. And the official punchline, we'd better get to the root of the problem. Get it? Doctor, doctor, I feel like a plant. We better get to the root of the problem. It's just nothing but laughter here at the MCM. It's now time for bonus time. That's right. You heard it. It's bonus time. What time is it? Let's say it again. It is bonus time. Time for 5 quick points. Have a look at the following illustration. Find the familiar phrase saying your name in this arrangement of letters. Here we go. Be the first to buzz in. Only 20 seconds for this one. Think it out. And the first contestant to buzz in is... Well, it was a tie between Peter and Paul. Let's hear what they said. Peter, what is your attempt at analyzing this puzzle?
22 maintenance.
Family aunt.
Did these contestants know the answer? Well, we are waiting. Let's see if either of them knew the answer. No. And the answer is high maintenance. High maintenance. And the scores after round number 1, Paul 20, Peter 10, Andrew, Bill, and Ben 0. Well, we tried to get you some points, but Paul was certainly the master of round number 1. Round number 2 begins right now. Think quick. 2 points each for these ones. What are the 2 missing numbers in this sequence? What are the 2 missing numbers in this following sequence? 70 minus 67, blank, minus 61, blank, minus 55. 70 minus 67, blank, minus 61, blank, minus 55. Here is the answer according to our players.
The missing numbers are 64 and 52.
I have no idea, but I'm going to say minus 49, and the next one after that would be minus 43.
The first number minus 64 and the second number is minus 52.
Okay, so minus 64 and minus 58.
I think the first number is 64. I think the other one, the second one would be, I say, oh boy, 58.
And the official answer is minus 64 and minus 58. Unscramble the following to make a word. C-T-C-N-E-O-N. C-T-C-N-E-O-N. Here's the answer according to our contestants.
Let's try connection.
And the word is connect.
This one jumps right out at you. It's connect.
No word.
Neon.
The official answer is, it was a tricky one. The official answer is, well, did you get it? It is connect. C-O-N-N-E-C-T. From the jumble, it got connect. C-O-N-N-E-C-T. And here are your scores after round number 2. Paul still in the lead with 22 points, adding 2 points to his last score. Peter now has 14. Ben is up there with 6. Bill has 2. And Andrew is yet to get a score. It's time for round number 3. And this is a mind bender. This one is worth 10 big points. Andrew, get that thinking cap on. And you, Ben, get that thinking cap on as well. Peter, time to think this one out. Also, let's not forget our friend Bill. Bill, you've got to do some thinking. Get that light bulb on. And also Paul. Paul, it's time to get that light bulb on as well. And here is the mind-boggling mystery. A man died in a telephone box with the side smashed in. His hands are covered in blood and the telephone receiver is hanging down. There are 2 packages outside of the telephone box, a long thin tube and a small box. Why did he die? Very, very interesting. Put your thinking caps on. What do our contestants think?
The man was actually outside of the telephone box. And then maybe he hit himself with something on his hands. That's why his hands were bleeding. And then he ran into the telephone box and was trying to dial 911, but he couldn't because his hands were bleeding. But why the telephone box was smashed on the side? It was just an old telephone box, so here.
I think he heard the telephone ringing, so he smashed the glass to get in, cut his hands, and then he answered it with the long thin tube and spoke through the tube into the telephone receiver. That's what was hanging down.
Yeah, the man had injured himself, and he had the long thin tube wrapped around his arm, and he was trying to get to the phone to phone 911, but by the time he managed to pick up the phone, he passed out, and he couldn't complete the phone call.
He died from too much excitement, and the gods got him and hit him with the lightning rod.
He was on the phone, and somehow he was hit, and someone left things outside there, the tube in a box, and no one could figure out what it be.
And here is the answer to the telephone box murder. Or is it? The man just got back from a fishing trip and was on the phone bragging to his friend as to how big the fish he caught was. When he stretched out his arms during the telling of the story to emphasize the length of the fish, his hand smashed through the glass windows of the phone booth and he bled to death. The two packages outside the telephone booth were a fishing pole and a tackle box. Very interesting way to end the first mind boggler of season number 2. Here we go. Here are the final scores. And the final scores are Paul the Champ with 22, Peter with 12, Ben with 6, Bill with 2, and Andrew with 0. And our champion is the season premiere number 2, Paul the Champion. Congratulations, Paul. We'll see you next time. Many thanks to the members of the Blue Sheet Clubhouse. Without their help, this show would not be possible. This has been a colorful Mary Cridge Manor production. If you want to submit any trivia questions to our show to ask the players, just email me your trivia questions at greg@tbitalks.com and I will be happy to incorporate them into the show. Thanks for participating. Look forward to seeing you again. Remember, be thankful for the bad things in life, for they opened your eyes to the good things you weren't paying attention to before. A fun lesson to learn from the gang here at the MCM Center. We'll see you next week for another episode of Are You Still a Genius? Bye for now.